Okay, needle felting take two. So, adding detail. Here's my little scene here. I thought I could add a little lighthouse. So I've got the lighthouse in here, but just when you want to add things like that on, you can needle felt it directly on, or you can take some fiber and do it separately. So with the lighthouse, I took a little bit of white and then I started needle felting it in the little shape that I want. So I just sort of did that separately and kept working it around until I got the shape that I wanted, and then I put it on that way. Now I'm going to make maybe a little red rooftop, so I'm going to do the same thing. I take a little bit of red fiber and then kind of roll it around and start needle felting it into the shape that I want. It doesn't have to be exact, but just to get a little patch about the same size that I want, and then I can add it on. So I'm going to add the little roof for my lighthouse and just sort of poke it on, and I can take more time and sometimes just direct it with the edge of the point of the needle rather. And if I think that that is a little bit too dark or too strong, sometimes I can soften a bit if I just take a little bit of maybe white or a little bit of blue or some, you don't really need that much, and sometimes it doesn't even matter what color it is, but I can just sort of put that over the top and just kind of poke it around the sides and even around the edges just to kind of soften that color. And I might even want a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of a gray or something on the lighthouse itself, or maybe a little bit of blue because maybe it's a little bit too bright. So you can kind of fiddle around with putting another little bit of a tone of a color across, and sometimes extra strands across something you're putting on might help to hold it down. So if it's not sticking that well, you can always use that little method. So there's all kinds of little tricks you can use to tone colors down and to create shapes and so on. So also you can add detail with things like bits of yarn. It has to be wool, but so it'll stick. So you can use a piece of yarn that you've cut off. Maybe it could be a stem of a flower, or again, I use some of that other little curly stuff here, and you can see how it gets flattened out after you iron it. And I'll show you that in the next little video. We'll go into my ironing board. So here's some really fun curly-Q stuff I thought would look nice as trees in the wintertime. So this is kind of a little bit thicker than I would like, so maybe I need to give that a little bit of an iron. But you can get all kinds of cool details, and there's a little bird, but I'm not really crazy with the berries. But anyway, so you can add some details by taking some little bits, doing it separately, and then attaching it on to your work. Okay.